Welcome to Love and Friendship. This is a love group here. We have Joanne, Sarah Brett. I'm your host, Michael Koran. We're discussing the story of Abraham and Sarah. Abraham hears a call that he's to spread blessings to everybody, all families on earth, and the community, the families of the clans. And we're trying to figure out how to help do that, right?
Yep.
So, if you've just joined us, hopefully very quickly we'll sum up. So, do you remember one thing about Abram's family before he hears this promise, this call to spread blessings to all families on earth? Anybody? Last quiz.
He saw he witnessed his father witnessing his brother dying.
Yes, his brother Haran dies right in front of the face of his father. So how would we feel if you were Abram? How would you feel, or how would we feel if we saw our brother die or be killed right in front of our father? Well, how would we feel? What would we
Completely
think?
devastated.
And I hate my father. What do you think, Joe?
Well, anytime you have families, broken up in some way, it's gonna affect you. It's gonna hurt it's possibly gonna hurt your faith. So, this story being about faith, it's possible that when he's seen this happen, it could have hurt his faith in some way.
Well, we didn't even know if he had a faith yet until he heard the call.
Right.
Any other feelings? How would you feel if you're the father? Terach.
We don't know how the son died.
All we know is it's right in front of, or in the literal Hebrew, before the face of his father. If you were the father, what would you feel? This all happens a little before, right up here.
Okay. 28, verse 28.
Yeah. How
Well,
would you feel, sir, if you were the father?
I would feel like I wouldn't want to be alive anymore.
Wow. And Sarai was also Terach's daughter, where your name comes from. How would you feel if you were Sarai? What would you say or do?
I would want to make the situation better.
Oh, you would? And how would you do that?
I would ask, what can I do to help? How can I make
Wow,
things...
even after he died. You're so nice. Wow. Well, it says that Sarai marries Abram, but I'm not sure she was asked. And how would you feel then? Well, what would you say or do?
Well, I don't mean to get off the track, but I did actually just notice something. If I could say something of that.
Yeah.
I notice later on in verse 31, it says they had planned to go to the land of Canaan when they reached the city of Haran, and it seems like I don't know if it's the same as his father. Maybe his father's named after.
No,
the city?
they're spelled differently in Hebrew.
Okay, got it. They settled there, so they planned to go to Canaan, but they never reached it. They stopped in Haran.
Yeah.
And they settled there. So I'm thinking maybe he was already that the family was supposed to go there, and then these deaths occur, right? And they I don't know if it's literal, but they say that they lived these high ages, right? They lived at like 900 and something. I don't know if we could take
Just
it literal
about
or not.
200 in Abram's. And you could
Okay.
divide by 2. There's 2 harvests in Israel,
Hmm.
so it's just be 100 of our years.
Interesting. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's to the agrarian society, right? That's interesting. So, I mean, I don't know what you make of that, but I'm thinking they had already planned to go, but the death sort of interjected in that, maybe.
Only got in the way, yes.
Yeah.
I'm now going to have Sarah, actually, this is Sarah, but she was named after Sarai, read, and then Abram hears this really, and you're going to tell me how you'd feel if this,
Okay.
and what you would say or do if this happened to you.
Okay.
Start right here.
Yes, yeah.
The Lord said to Abram, leave your country, your relatives, and your father's family, and go to the land I will show you. I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make you famous, and you will be a blessing to others. I will bless those who bless you, and I will place a curse on those who harm you, and all the people on earth will be blessed through you.
Whoa. Joe, if you hear this, these words, what do you feel, think? What would you do?
Why me?
That's a great answer.
Yeah. Both for good and bad. Like, why the responsibility, and why, out of anybody else, why me? You know, it's like you're being very kind. You're being so kind to me. Why is it? I'll take it, because it's security to me. You've given me security of a land and a people,
Wow.
right? But
and being a blessing.
yeah, being a
Well, he
being a
told
blessing.
you to.
Right.
He told you to be a blessing.
Right. He told me to be a blessing, hence the responsibility.
That might be hard. What does that
Right.
mean?
Yeah, exactly. What does that mean? Or to be a blessing to the people around you. So, regardless of the people, so that's the interesting thing. I'm just thinking about this. So, being a blessing to people who may be not a blessing to you, but
Yeah.
you must be a blessing to them. It's almost like love your enemy, right?
We've been talking about that
Right.
before.
Love your enemy. But then again, he assures him that even if they're not going to be a blessing back to you, he's going to make them a blessing to you. He's going to make them a blessing to you in some way
Wow.
by cursing them if they don't bless you.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And Sarah, if you hear this, what do you feel, think, do, say?
I go with it. I think, wow, it's a lot of responsibility, but I have nothing to lose. The family has, the
You understand this? Wow. So why not?
Why not?
Although this voice is promising so many things, it seems that might be hard to go. If he just said, "I'll make you a great nation, your name great," it doesn't seem to be enough. The voice keeps adding on more.
But it's I'm sure hard to leave the family who's gone through all this tragedy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you need to heal too.
Let's get away.
Let's get away.
A travel plan. I think that one of the reasons your answer, why me? There's a Leonard Cohen song that light comes through the broken places, where the cracks are, the light comes through. You know, like we have our own human personality, but we're all, children of the cosmos.
Yeah.
You know, we need the sun and the stars and the earth and the galaxy and so on. So when we're broken, that energy can come in and communicate to us, whether in pictures or words. There's probably, it says this, you understand this, Joe. We're all children of the cosmos. Or if the cosmos is in some ways, which it probably is, purposeful and beautiful and loving and nourishing, we're all children of that. Children of God, however we understand God. So that's why, my answer to your question, why Abraham, is he was broken. But fortunately he was married to Sarah, Sarai then. And it was a hard marriage too. It's probably a celibate marriage. It was his half-sister. So if you're broken, that we can understand that. And then many broken people feel, God, come to them. We need all the help we can get.
So in your brokenness, there And that's a good light through. It almost goes back to the beginning, right? Because there was chaos, like the very beginning in Adam. There was chaos and darkness and disorder,
Yeah.
and then God says, "Light be," and that word "or," order. Light be, and everything becomes ordered,
Yes.
and gives Adam the responsibility of putting order in the universe.
Wow.
And Hashem walking in the cool of the day with Adam in Eden, in Gan Eden, in the Garden of Eden.
So, right in the very beginning of the Bible, I think we have it in here.
Yeah.
You could read it again,
Yes.
Sarah, just the very, very beginning, which Joe was talking about. This is in Genesis, the very
Right here.
first lines.
In the beginning, God created the sky and the earth. The earth had no form and was empty. Darkness covered the ocean, and God's Spirit was moving over the water. Then God said, "Let there be light," and there was light.
So as Joe was saying, that's the same thing that was happening with Abram, maybe all of us. First there's, in Hebrew the words are, do you remember them, Joe? For void, darkness.
Tohu vavohu.
Tohu vavohu, you can hear it.
Yeah.
Tohu vavohu.
Tohu vavohu.
And then or comes.
Or.
So the same thing happened with Abraham and that happened with the universe.
Really good point. Good
And
analogy.
could happen, thanks to Joe, and that could happen for all of us as we, okay, so the next thing that happens, as we've talked about, is they go to Canaan. They take a huge crowd with them. Maybe the crowd was excited, oh, we can find light through our darkness. And they come to Canaan, you remember this, and they see a mighty or sacred oak tree. And the Bible says, Abram sees Yahweh, the spirit that was talking with him. And what would it, we went through this before, but today, what does it mean, feel? What would we do if we saw this cosmic force? One, it doesn't say what he sees. What do we feel, think, say, do? If we have that experience, and people do have that experience, right? At times they're just. I think you told me of someone in a taxi cab. Is that true? Want to share it with us?
Yeah, so my friend, another Joe, he was in an Uber on the way to the airport. The Uber driver had the cross and just started asking Joe about his beliefs, and Joe said, "Oh, I was an atheist." And the Uber driver started asking more questions, and Joe actually felt a spiritual presence in the cab to the point where he was shaking. And then asked the Uber driver for his contact information, and that he would attend a church service with him. And he said since that point, he was always, he was a 20-year pot smoker, and just kind of, used substances to kind of supplement life. And since then, he does not smoke pot. He says he's the happiest he's ever been.
Right,
Like
peaceful.
a 180 shift.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from what we're saying, that can happen to many of us.
Yeah.
Something similar probably happened
Right.
to you. Yes.
Absolutely. And when I hear, and it's not so much of an audible voice, it's a voice deep within, but it's almost like a voice that is from without. It's kind of weird to explain because it's not something I would think myself. When I get these sort of revelations, and it's usually when I'm reading the Bible or thinking about it or praying about it as I'm reading it, it's like the light gets turned on and goes, where did that thought come from? And it's like an aha moment, but it's even deeper than that because I would have never thought of that. I would have, and it comes with a feeling of awe, and it comes with a feeling of almost trembling because it's like this is not coming from it's coming inside of me, but it's not coming from within me.
And that makes sense if it's if it's the force of the universe, or the force of the galaxy or the sun. Now, and then the question which we asked last time, Genesis says, the Bible says, Abram sees Yahweh. What does he see? And if you, well, first, what does he see? Because the Bible doesn't tell us what he sees. You can't see awe, can you?
Cannot.
So what does he see? We guessed last time we went around that it could be the oak tree. Maybe. What do you think?
I think so.
Something pointing to something, maybe
Pointing to the sky?
Yeah.
I love trees the way they do that.
Of a vision.
Yeah, they do seem awesome.
Yeah.
So maybe he could feel the light in the tree or the life of the tree.
Yeah.
That's good enough for me. So then, this is the part we've talked about. They go to, there's a drought in the land. Abraham builds an altar. They have big barbecues to celebrate. Yum. Do you eat meat?
I eat meat, yeah.
What kind of meat?
I love lamb.
Oh, so they might do that? They slaughter a
Probably.
lamb?
Yeah, they probably would.
I haven't eaten meat in a long time, but I might try. And you, do you eat meat?
I do.
What kind?
You know what I love? Well, I'm gonna say I love fish.
Oh, fish is a little different. I eat fish.
But I'll have the occasional piece of steak or a burger.
That's so long ago. I might get into it. I have a friend, Charlie Tesh, who just eats grass-fed. So it's healthy. Okay, so they have barbecue. But then there's a drought in the land. No more barbecue, no more land, no more steak, no more fish. And they go to Egypt. And you know what happens there. Why don't you tell us, Joe?
Is this where the incident with the king and Sarai?
Yeah.
Abraham sort of gives her over.
Yes. What does he say? You remember exactly, by any chance, what he says to her?
He says, so that it may go well with me, that is, get a gift. According to Rashi's interpretation, that is, so I might get paid for this.
Wow.
So I might get a gift out of this, that it might go well with us in Egypt, and for our protection as well. You will tell him that you are my sister, so that he will take you as a concubine, and do what he pleases.
And I'll save my life. They might kill me.
Exactly, save my life.
So, Joe, I'm going to ask you again before we ask Sarah. So, what do you, if you were Sarai, what would you feel, think, say, do in this situation?
If I were Sarai.
Yeah. How do you feel? What would you think?
I wouldn't want to go along with it, but for the sake of whatever Abraham had heard from the Lord, it would almost be like, yeah, I'm going to have to endure this for the sake of whatever promise we have.
Wow. What a great, loyal Sarah. And Sarah, what do you today feel, think? What would you say, do if you were Sarah?
Back during those times, it was common for people to have multiple wives.
Yes.
And I would think maybe there's a wife that I'll get along with. And I better go along with it because we are in foreign territory. I don't know what's going to happen.
Wow.
Let's just keep the peace right now.
Right.
And if I can't handle it, I will get to that
At that moment.
at that point.
And so say Abram gets many gifts, camels, goats, servants, sheep. How would you feel, say, think and do if you're Abram getting all of these really extraordinary gifts?
As from whose point of view, Abraham or
Yes,
Sarah?
from Abraham.
From Abraham? Well, that worked out for me. Not myself, but I mean, I'm thinking that's probably what Abraham said. Well, this is all working out. My plan is going according to.
Wow.
My plan is going according to. What I thought it would.
Now he's no fool, so he probably thought Pharaoh's having a great time with Sarah. And would that bother him?
It probably would in the back of his mind,
Oh,
thinking,
but all those goodies, wow.
yeah,
Because I think they were half sister and brother.
right,
We don't find that out till the middle of the story, toward the end even.
yeah.
Why do you think the writer didn't tell us?
It's a really good point. I think the writer wanted us to really think about the relationship and think about what each person was going through,
Oh, without saying, oh, they're just brothers and
and
sisters.
did not want us to judge.
Mm.
Wow.
Wanted us to make a discernment about, but not judge their character.
Oh, so not Judge Abram for pimping his wife.
Maybe the
Okay.
focus was on the
Yeah.
promise all the way through.
Yeah.
Abram
Yeah.
thought, I'm gonna get this
Yeah.
is gonna be part of blessing all of.
Right.
Now Pharaoh gets angry,
Mhm.
calls Abram in and says, somehow he finds out. How did he find out that they were husband and wife?
There was a plague,
Yep, there was a plague in his household.
and maybe people were just all very nervous
Yes.
and wanting people to just dissipate and move out because they were afraid of germs.
And how did he find out that Sarai then was Abram's wife, and that was causing the
I
plague?
just got a sort of aha for a second.
Yes.
Didn't we have in this chapter, it says that I will make you to bless those, and I will place a curse or on those who curse you.
Yes.
So the king sleeps with his wife. That's sort of a curse.
It could be. Yes.
And so the plague happens. It's almost like a fulfillment of what he just said was going to happen.
Yes. I'd like to think of the curse as if we have a love flow, even between you and a difficult friend. I want to keep that love flow going, because if it stops, if they do something that's just a little bit too much, we suffer too. We will lose that flow, that beloved divine energy. So I like to think the curse is when you're cut off. You say, where's that love flow?
Right. There's no
Where's
more blessing between us.
Yes, there's no. Ooh. Is there a way I can keep? We were talking about this beforehand. Is there a way I can keep somehow a relationship so that blessing flow for me? Who cares about them in some way?
Because it's not just material either. The blessing is not just
Now
material.
I can feel it between us now. We know each other. I can feel it. You said.
You
You
have
do.
10 seconds.
We have a minute to go. Yes. No, we have
Oh,
2 minutes.
No, you're right.
We have 2 minutes to go. Okay. So then they leave together. Pharaoh says, keep the goods even, just get out.
Mhm.
So what do you feel when you're walking back to Canaan with Abram, your husband? Look at her face. She doesn't like this. She doesn't. What do you feel now? Think, say, do.
You don't. You just are trying to process it. You're not terribly happy with Abram.
But you don't say anything?
Right now, you're just. I'd be processing
Okay.
how to handle it.
And Abram, how does he feel, Joe, at this point? They're walking back to Canaan with all these goodies. Does he feel, oh my, I've got all these goodies? Does he mind if Sarai is not talking to him?
They might not have that flow going on,
Yeah.
but they do have an idea. They do have an idea that this promise is really happening.
Oh, I see. That we're gonna. I love your perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So the next thing, they have so many goodies. We'll talk about this in another 3 minutes. Abram's nephew, the son of the murdered brother, and Abram do have such overflowing abundance in their herds that their herdsmen start fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll discuss this when we come back.
Not enough land.
How would you feel if this young man that you love, all of a sudden, there's a lot of fighting between your people and his people? If you want to find out, stay tuned. If in the next 3 minutes, we will answer this question and continue to wander with Abram and Sarai